At this moment, Yu and the golden four-eyed figure locked eyes, their gazes meeting across the boundless void. Only now did Yu realize that this golden figure had been speaking in the human language just moments ago. He silently speculated that this being was most likely human, but before the thought could fully form, a chilling realization echoed in his mind. Wait, just now, I was clearly within a memory. How could he have chased me all the way here? The consciousness he left behind. Even after several eras, or perhaps even longer, could it still be this powerful? Yu's entire body trembled as doubt filled his heart. Not wanting to dwell on it, he fixed his gaze on the golden figure, eyes sharp and cold, and asked in a low voice, "Are you friend or foe?" However, the golden figure didn't respond directly. He merely said calmly, "I will help you." Yu frowned slightly, his expression growing even more guarded. "Help me? And why should I believe you?" In response to his suspicion, the golden figure's broken voice echoed faintly, "Seek it." The Donghuang bell. As the final word left his lips, the golden figure's body immediately dissolved into streaks of golden light, vanishing as if he had never existed. Yu's expression turned blank in confusion as he hurriedly shouted, "Wait! Wait a moment!" But in the vast emptiness of the starry void, only he remained, alone. Standing amidst the silent sea of stars, after a long moment, he finally exhaled lightly and murmured to himself, "Vanished. Find the Donghuang bell." The instant the words escaped his lips, the system panel before him suddenly lit up. Imperial armament, Donghuang bell origin, one of the ancient innate imperial armaments. From the moment of its creation, it has contained eternal power, embodying the fortune of heaven and earth. Function: suppresses all realms of the nine heavens, manipulates time and space, interprets the mysteries of the heavenly Tao, and refines the elemental forces of earth, water, wind, and fire in an instant. Special abilities: time imprisonment, spatial suppression. Nullifies all attacks from treasures, divine weapons, and spells, perfect in both offense and defense. An imperial armament capable of anything. Reading the information displayed on the panel, Yu softly repeated the two terms: time imprisonment, spatial suppression. The thought of possibly obtaining the Donghuang bell stirred a flicker of desire within him. If he truly acquired such a treasure, then in the coming battle with the great emperor, his odds of victory might rise significantly. Yu's gaze hardened with resolve. Donghuang bell. I must have it. Yet, just as that thought formed, he suddenly paused. But where do I even begin to search for it? As the question surfaced in his mind, Yu's eyes lit up, as if he suddenly remembered something. That's right. Maybe it knows. At that moment, on a rocky cliff of azure blue star, where the phoenix had chosen to nest and cultivate, it was currently in meditation. Sensing someone approaching, the phoenix opened its eyes and looked ahead. Upon seeing Yu, it respectfully bowed. "Master." Wasting no time, Yu went straight to the point. "Phoenix, can you see my future right now?" Hearing this, the phoenix paused slightly, then nodded. "Let me try." With that, it immediately activated its divine ability. Spiritual energy surged violently from its body like a storm. The divine ability, the divine eye of foresight. The eye that sees the future, slowly opened. A strange light flickered in its pupils, as if piercing through all flows of fate. But only for an instant. Pfft. The phoenix suddenly coughed up a mouthful of blood. Seeing this, Yu asked with concern, "Phoenix, are you all right?" Blood still at the corners of its mouth, the phoenix replied weakly, "Master, I only saw you searching for something, but if you insist on obtaining it, you will face destruction." Hearing this, Yu's mood sank. His gaze wavering, he said nothing, only raised a hand to silently summon a stream of life essence. The warm energy gradually enveloped the phoenix's body, and before long, its injuries were fully healed. Yu continued asking in a calm voice, "Did you see which direction I headed into the stars?" The phoenix closed its eyes and focused for a moment before replying, "I'm not sure. But the place you go to appears extremely primitive." Yu gave a small nod. "I understand." Meanwhile, on Earth, in front of a teleportation gate, numerous mechanized units were rushing to complete construction. At the helm stood Xiaoling. Beside her, a subordinate lowered his head to report, "Master, The Void Gate will be completed in half a month. 20 gates have already been constructed across the globe. At their current scale, they can accommodate even colossal beings like the Emperor Crocodile. Xiaoling slightly furrowed her brows, her cold gaze sweeping across the scene before her. Compared to Azure Blue Star, Earth is far too fragile. From now on, all Rank 4 transcendent beings and above must be relocated to Azure Blue Star or spatial zones of vitality. Earth can no longer withstand the battles of Rank 4 or higher beasts, in a city somewhere within the Huaxia Federation. Massive flocks of black crows swarmed across the sky, blotting out the sunlight. They were the clones of the undying Blood Fawn. Citizens panicked and cried out, "Crows! So many crows!" From above, a command descended from the Blood Fawn. By the order of the Divine Tree, from this day forward, all beings above Rank 4 on Blue Planet must migrate to Azure Blue Star. Those who comply shall be spared, those who defy are enemies of Misty Mountains. On the ground, Earth's people looked up at the dense flocks of black crows circling the skies, their eyes filled with confusion and fear. They could not comprehend why such a decree had suddenly appeared, let alone one issued by a creature they had never seen before. Just then, on a massive LED screen in the city center, an image of Xiaoling abruptly appeared. Someone in the crowd pointed in panic and shouted, "Look! Look at the big screen!" Xiaoling stood in the center of the projection, her expression cold and solemn. Her eyes seemed to pierce through the screen. Staring directly at each person watching, after a brief silence, she spoke, "To all of humanity across the globe, I am about to announce something of great importance. I ask you to listen carefully." In an instant, her image and voice were broadcast simultaneously on every major screen across cities around the world. There was no doubt now, she was issuing a global command. A directive concerning the relocation of all Rank 4 and higher transcendents from Earth to Azure Blue Star. At that same moment, deep within a dense forest in a distant region, a colossal creature was stomping forward, shaking the ground with each step. Its form was completely unfamiliar, likely a mutant beast previously unrecorded. Moments later, another beast stepped out from the woods. It resembled a wolf in shape, but a massive pair of horns grew from its head. Its mouth was filled with sharp fangs, and most striking of all were its glowing red eyes, eyes that burned with a feral, bloodthirsty instinct. The two strange beasts emerged together, seemingly moving as one. Their presence alone made the atmosphere of the forest grow unbearably heavy, fraught with danger like never before.